Well, Illinois Prairie is one of the most biodiverse ecosystems that exist. So there's actually hundreds of different species of prairie flowers, but some of the more common ones are things like milkweeds. So butterfly milkweed, there's also common milkweed, world milkweed. We have several different species of milkweeds. Rattlesnake master is a very typical one. The purple coneflower, pale purple coneflower, gentians, all sorts of different plants to support a variety of insects. Well, native plants evolved here for thousands of years alongside everything else that depends on it and that supports it. So if you think about, for instance, a monarch caterpillar, they can only feed on milkweed plants. And if you didn't have the milkweeds, you wouldn't have the monarchs. Now, other plant species are the same way. So, for instance, swallowtails depend on things that live in the parsley family. If you didn't have those native plants, you wouldn't have all of those special insects. You wouldn't have the insects that support the birds. And it's very important for. Okay, well, so non-native plants are plants that came from a very far away place that were brought here, usually intentionally or non-intentionally. And some of those non-native plants can actually be invasive, which means they take over, they limit biodiversity, and they form monocultures, and they suppress all of the native plants from growing. One of the important things is that the non-native plants and the invasive plants have not evolved here for thousands of years like the native plants. So they do not have the same relationship with insects and with the land and with the ecosystem. So they do not support the wildlife that has depended on our native plants. So non-native plants, while they may have their associated their diseases and their pests and the wildlife that depends on it back home, that's not the case over here. So they're very useless as far as ecosystem services. Right, that would be milkweeds. So all types of milkweeds, and there are several species of milkweeds that are very important. And so the monarch caterpillar can only feed on milkweed plants, and that's very important because monarchs are on the decline.
Is collected by bees. This is, as you can see, they're already empty because they've been the honey has been collected. But this is where the bees, this box would sit on top of a beehive on a box that's called brood box, where bees are multiplying, and they basically bring pollen and nectar. They change it into honey, and they go up into this box and they collect the honey, and that's where we collect it. And this is what the frame looks like before it's drawn out by bees. And then in order to keep them calm, as we're working with the bees, we're using this tool. This confuses bees a little bit, and it keeps their nerves down, and it helps us work with them. These are hive tools. They're very helpful in removing these frames. I'll demonstrate. Like so, because quite often they're very sticky. So this really helps us move it around, or maybe cut through propolis. And here, got a few of my fur friends that I just collected this morning from a hive. These are guard bees, so if I open it up, they will be really trying to defend their hive. So they're sleeping right now. It's a little cool for them, so we'll keep them there. And then finally, this is what a full frame of honey looks like. Just one second. Before it's collected. So as you can see, bees are collecting honey in here. So in order to extract it, we need to open these cappings. It's just wax, and then retrieve the honey. And this is basically what it looks like. It's a little messy, but there's plenty of honey in here. It's pretty heavy too.
Yeah, so this year has been particularly bad for dog ticks. We're getting a lot of these bigger dog ticks out. They give a nasty bite, you know, they stay attached, they suck your blood for a long time, but luckily they're not really carrying diseases in our area. But these are our Ixodes scapularis ticks, and they are the carrier of Lyme disease. So they're smaller, they can be hard to find on yourself. So just being vigilant and checking for ticks every time you go outside is a good idea. We recommend staying in the center of paths when you're walking places, trying to stay out of the grasses and the leaf litter where the ticks will be, and they'll climb up you. And for mosquitoes, the best thing you can do is dump out any standing water in your own backyard. Yeah, wearing mosquito repellents is always good too.